Hey guys, we're here with Sofia, a partner at Forward Ventures. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you very much.
So why did you come out today to the Crypto 306 event?
I was speaking. We were also launching our fund here. It's a very new fund. We only completed a raise in March at a time when the industry was almost under attack, internally and externally.
Still kind of is.
Still, now it's gone a little uphill, but also to your point, the resilience is showing for the system. The attacks that it's facing, it's only proved the kind of anti-fragility that it holds within itself.
Why do you think that is?
Because coordinated attacks, there were certain kind of various simultaneous attacks in terms from regulators that the industry faced. Yet, the industry surfaced stronger than it had over at least the past 12, 14 months, let's say, after Terra Luna, if you really look back, right?
It's almost a year ago. Exactly.
Yeah, almost, yeah, exactly.
No,
a
no,
year
no,
ago.
exactly.
Exactly a year
Oh my
ago.
gosh.
Yeah. So that only proves that system is anti-fragile. That if it can stand such a test, it was the strongest stress test, right, that we faced, and it pivoted last month. We've actually seen some market acceleration that it saw in the last 12 months. So even due to the various things that were going against it, it stood the test of time.
Definitely. And so tell me about your experience with Forward Ventures and how that journey has been even throughout all of the attacks.
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing. That's to say the least. So the thing is, what's exciting is we always see all these news that surfaces. What really we forget sometimes, even as consumers, there's so much stuff that's happening behind the scenes, and the real heroes, the founders, they're still building. And some of them are so new that it's never in the news, right? It's never really out there because they're young teams, they're passionate teams, they're really just there to solve problems. They're not there sometimes for the hype of it or the glamour of it, which the money brings. So yeah, that's the most exciting part, and that's fun for me to be part of that side of it, to meet people like that, to work with teams like that, and young teams who just there for solving problems is exciting.
And do you find that these events like this are conducive to that, to meeting new people, or does it kind of all blend together after so many?
No, I mean, I think we were having this conversation that I think even now there's three of them happening simultaneously, and people are flowing in and out of them.
Here in Dubai, every week there's too much going on.
It's too much. But it goes back to exhaustion of attending it. Maybe that's there. But overall, it's a positive, isn't it? The more we talk about it, the more we bring light to it in whichever form we can. It's good for the ecosystems.
Yeah, definitely. And we get to bring in more people that way.
Yeah, for sure.
And so tell me a little bit more about what you spoke about on stage, if you can share some insights or takeaways.
Yeah. So I actually really shed light on three focus areas that we focus on as a fund, which is data ownership, which we understand Web3 is it's really the foundational point for it. The second is middleware, which is our key focus area in terms of investments. And the third is the metaverse that it's the fund, we put in slightly less of it, deployment towards it, but it still excites us in equal form as blockchain does. Why? Because I think it will really disrupt the system in terms how consumers interact with brands, right? So now we're seeing metaverse as maybe games or social channels, XYZ. What we're really missing out, or maybe not focusing so much on, is how brands could really become something else when they present themselves and interact with the consumers in the metaverse.
So using it more than just like a maybe marketing activation, going beyond that.
Going way beyond that, I think Nike is a great example, right? Building a user base that is not Web 2, but it's essentially just Web 3, and buying sneakers online. You can't wear them. So what is the value of that? Only those people who are wearing them understand it. So what are they thinking? Why are they buying it? What is really their plan for the future? Their collectibles. So I think Nike has captured that sentiment or understanding that where is that little thing that others are not seeing? As VCs, we talk about this, right? A great VC is one who see something others don't, right? I think Nike is a great example for brands capturing a point that other brands are not understanding.
They also just have a lot of customer loyalty, I think, and they're able to focus on like sneakers and like one product.
They have the funds, first of all, because yeah, and they have a consumer base, right? So bringing that together, there's also how do you combine those two parts, right? That's where they captured the sentiment, I think.
Definitely. And so, what else do you think brands need to do to maybe go beyond the hype and take advantage of what the metaverse can offer and virtual experiences?
Generation shift has been the biggest that we've ever seen in terms of consumption, and where does the value lie, right?
Generation shift to the younger generation?
To the younger generation, right? A pair of sneakers, as we bought, like, Nike back in the day, held a certain sentiment, right? Especially to kids in the 80s. That has been transferred because they don't understand what that meant at that time. We had great basketball players wearing it. There were all those sentimental value attached to it. Those sentiments are shifting and moving towards different things, perhaps, right? So understanding where is that shifting is key.
Okay, so that's your job. That's your goal.
I'd love to know. There's so much to learn from them in general, right? How they're thinking in terms of even your customer journey. Like today when we work with brands and we're designing a go-to-market for them, right? A go-to-market is very different for younger consumer base to what maybe slightly older one is, which wasn't there in earlier brands. So now that's shifting comparatively faster.
My sister is Gen Z, so I learn a lot from her.
A lot from the younger generations all the time, yeah.
All right, and then is there anything else that maybe you're more personally excited about in the industry, whether it's metaverse or APIs or your companies or something like that?
Yes, my personal space is digital identities. I strongly believe when that surfaces properly, because I don't even think we've started it yet, somehow, that it's going to be way bigger phenomena than NFTs, than DeFi, than anything the system has seen, for sure.
So it's our online identities and virtual identities.
Like DIDs is one, right? And how self-sovereign identities is one, SSI. How all of those can bring about changes to incumbents or like to traditional industries is yet to be seen, because a lot is run on identities, our check-ins, our passwords, our logins. A lot has. So imagine seamlessly moving from Instagram to another platform or whatever it is, without anything in the middle, just moving, right?
Do you think our digital identities could ever become bigger than our physical ones?
This goes back to the question when the internet started, right? Can an online store ever take more of a consumer base than an offline can? That's never the question. The question is, how do they seamlessly come in together? Because both need to exist. Why is that? Because we exist in the physical world, right? So it would never become bigger. It shouldn't become bigger, just like an online store or something like that has its own place, right? But at the same time, you would want to walk in a Nike store and have a feel of a Nike sneaker. Would the younger generation still want that? Is yet to be seen. In our current world, we would want that. So I think it's more about how does that integration or really, that merging point is, where both of those spaces come in together and merge in a very beautiful way. That'll be fun.
All right, we'll see what happens. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Sofia.
Thank you. Thank you very much.